Okay, so last time you guys had finished up your mission within Grelay Fruit's plane. After going through a relatively small mountain dungeon, you was able to activate a stone tablet to take you to a debut plane of sorts under the control of a ancient brown dragon. The plane itself was very bountiful in both its flora and fauna, and wasn't exactly hostile in any way, shape, or form. If anything, it was a very inviting experience that you may want to return to at some point and just live the rest of your days there and become a family man. You're able to meet the dragon at the very end by the name of Grelay Fruit, and through talking with him, you're able to work out a sort of deal, though due to losing quite a bit of your talking ability with the loss of Bogmakara. Not Bogmakara. I forgot your Mughal's name now, Fish. What was it? Remula. You're unable to get the best deal, as the dragon was not too confident in your guys' ability to bring the staff back with your own powers, and so he wished to test your strength. And test your strength he did, as a very lucky roll of a will save, or fortitude save, made it so that Mowgli was able to stop the dragon, and you were able to knock it out. After waiting for the stop to end and bringing the dragon back up, he gifted to you the Staff of Boa, which was the staff that Azame Cloth had asked you to obtain. You took it back to the city of Sraken, handed it off to Azame Cloth, and basically confirming that the staff would be used to create forests and jungles within the new plane that they're creating. As well as being paid for handing off the staff, you were invited into their base of operations, at least the one held within Sraken, and you saw plenty of the other members. And combining with the rumours around Azame offering up cheaper revival services, it was very prominent in the employees and staff they had, as plenty definitely seemed like they were newly resurrected dead people, though still keeping their own senses and life, though sadly missing limbs, pieces of flesh, and parts of their body. Many people having only one limb or missing parts of their chins. A lot of them were working as a way to work off the debt they racked up by having Azame revive them, though a lot of the time it seemed like it was mostly out of their own will, and a lot of people would be working far after they had worked off their debt. From what people have said, it was a very good deal they were being given. Looking throughout the rest of the base of Azame, you found some undead that were both under and not under his control, that they were using to fight against other monsters and possibly other factions that would attack them. And after handing off your reward, you're allowed free reign of the base, where you talk to a few of the members, getting a rather good view of Azame and the Divine Destroyers as a group, as a whole, at least from what they've experienced and have been told. As a group, you were told you were going to be going off to a new location to meet up with Dranben, as you had a new mission coming to you in the next 2 days. And with the 2 days to yourself, you spent it purchasing and spending your well-earned gil into improving your group, though due to the lack of time, there wasn't much in the way of enchanting. It was more just buying straight items. During that time, you were approached by a messenger, as you were called upon by the Nefel army to give a debrief, at which point you were given a teleport off towards, as far as you can guess, towards the far east, where plenty of the outsiders were being sighted and having Oxel take them down. Thankfully, your group were to infiltrate Azame Cloth's part of the Divine Destroyers, so Corporal Gottfried Stryker did not have to aid you too much in the information they were able to gather. It seems they're keeping up pace with you, and they were able to find out the location of Dranben almost the same time as you were given the mission to go off to see him. Exchanging information and talking with Gottfried, you're able to also collect a stipend from the fell army. This being in the form of enemy corpses and/or scrolls. At which point, you guys have spent the time between sessions deciding what of those you would like, and hopefully, you've all noted those in your character sheets for your new spells and scrolls.
Yeah.
And we ended off last session just as you returned to Strecken with 2 days to yourself to learn said spells and scrolls and generally prepare for the next mission. So we shall continue off from there. Was there any... you didn't have any time left after those scrolls, did you?
No.
I think Kuma's spending most of his time devouring the corpses.
Yeah, basically.
Because you got 7 or 8 different corpses, didn't you?
I cannot remember. A few.
Quite a few
Two of
indeed.
them quite big monsters.
But one of them was a huge flan princess, so that was a very delectable dessert.
Yeah, but
Okay, and during this time, do you guys wish to purchase anything else before you set off? Or do you wish to be saving your money to wait until you hear the next mission?
Saving it.
I spent up. I'm pretty sure I spent up. 0 on my character.
No, I don't think I spent anything, so everything I want is too expensive.
Joseph doesn't have terribly much left. He's got about 1,000.
Yeah, sure I spent. I can't remember what I bought. And I spent up.
Okay, so most of the time we'll just be learning from scrolls and eating corpses, as well as resting for 2 days. So if you have any NP not already gained back, you should gain it all back from that.
Yeah.
Especially since you'll have clear minds through most of the day and night. Okay. And 2 days will pass within the city of Strecken as the party awakens within the Lucky Carp to another Moogle messenger. A rather sweaty Moogle with a brown coat of fur blending into the insides of the inn relatively well. With a stubby arm, he holds up a letter to the party. Ready for you, pal.
Thank you. I'll just take it.
Taking the letter, it will read as follows. Dear Backup Plan, your next mission is prepared for you. Please go to the teleportation hall. An associate of ours will be awaiting you there. They are a white mage Gareth by the name of Zeralu. A teleportation has been booked for your team to the city of Cistern Hold to the far north. Zeralu will have the location of the next base and will escort you there. Good luck, Azame Clough.
Yep, I guess we know where we're headed, Kupo. You guys ready to go?
I am.
I can imagine we're just rolling Kumunch out at this point. He's had a lot to eat.
It's just like a big ball rolling across the streets as if you're playing Katamari Damacy. Fish, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, you just weren't responding.
Oh.
Okay.
Make our way
Taking
to
the
teleportation
advice from the letter, the party can head to the teleportation hall. And almost immediately, the party can find the white mage in question. A Gareth draped in the normal tribal-like attire, wearing a bone mask that covers their entire face and some part of their horns. headdress dangling beneath their chin alongside straps of cloth to cover their torso and patchwork trousers. With a certain lack of magical gear, the staff carried by the Garth is quite ornate. I shall show you the... bring him onto the screen, actually, that'd be easier. When approached, he will recognize the party and speak to them in a calm, friendly tone. Hello there. You must be my teammates for this jaunt to the north. My name is Zeralu. I am a nomadic Gareth with no tribe to call my own. I recently joined the Divine Destroyers. Their aims and goals are mighty indeed. A plane all for ourselves. A perfect place for my own clan to be established within.
Welcome, Zeralu. My name is Joseph. I'm the sneaky type, backstabby type. What's your specialty?
I mostly focused within healing magics, though I am quite versatile with my power staff.
That'll be quite useful. We don't have a dedicated healer with us. We tend to rely on Kumach and his ability to heal, and also some scrolls that we've managed to pick up along the way. Kumach is a good healer, but he's not a dedicated healer, so there's a lot that he can't do. He's pretty much got one go-to that's really useful, but it's hard for us to have other effects sometimes.
Do you wish to ask him for his spell list?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Maybe not, but I'm going to do something real fast.
Just gonna eye him up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, he is a 10th level white mage. Those are his ability scores.
So high con.
He is a very beefy white mage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do seem to be a little bit behind us in terms of experience and whatnot. We seem to have seen a little bit more than you have. So we'll definitely have to have you in the back, and we'll be the ones protecting you.
That definitely works within my favor. My power staff can hit quite a far distance when compared to other magi. That's his spell list. You should also be able to see his HP and MP on his token.
Yeah.
We can. Well, we just so happen to have some scrolls that are a little bit higher level than what you can do, but I can cast scrolls just fine, so we'll probably be keeping a hold of them, but we have some other healing that if for some reason you can't help with that, we have some higher level stuff.
I should assure you, if any damage you take is not healed by somebody else, I can definitely do it.
So do you have a little bit more information on where we're going and what we're doing? Because we're a little bit in the dark. Not completely, but we're quite new to the Divine Destroyers as well.
We shall be heading towards the teleportation hall. The teleportation is booked for us to take us towards Cistern Hold. From there, I can give you a tour of the city and eventually make our way towards where Dranban is currently stationed at. He shall give us details on the next quest.
Sounds good. Good bowl. Lead the way.
Absolutely.
After talking with Zeralu, he will call over an employee to teleport their party to Cistern Hold. And Aura will walk over, link hands with the party, and teleport them. Getting used to the sensation of teleportation magic, the party doesn't feel any adverse effects of the travel. As you teleport like 3,000 miles to the northeast. I keep saying west today. So you were down in Zrekyn here, and then from Zrekyn you go all the way to the north coast. It's about 3,100 miles.
Damn.
Yikes. Beach getting a chocobo all the way.
Yes, it would take you quite a few days via chocobo. Because how many squares is this?
132.
It'll take you 66 days to get there via chocobo.
Right.
So 2 months, just over 2 months. And as you are teleported to Cistern Hold, Zeralu will turn to the party and address you. We should have some time to ourselves before the meeting. How about a trip to the local market?
Bit skin right now, but sure.
What was that? Fish?
He's a bit
We're
scared.
red light on money now, but yeah, sure, let's go.
Taking the advice of Zeralu, the party can explore the city somewhat, until finally arriving at the market. Making your way a few minutes to the west of the teleportation hall, on the north side of the city, the party will pass by several interesting buildings, adorned with signs of tankards, water skins, and plates of food. Plenty of the buildings seem to be shelters for the hungry and homeless. Several townsfolk form queues entering into the establishments, with several also leaving with happy faces and full stomachs. Aside from the well-fed homeless, plenty of stands are set up across the streets, with criers calling out for work people. One older Albed calls out, "Manual workers, calling for any able-bodied adults to come work in the mines. Refreshments, bedding, and transport all provided." Whereas a younger Hume boy calls out, "Got sturdy legs or tendrils beneath you? We're looking for transporters, hauling bags and boxes, paid by the mile. Apply now. Youths welcome." No matter the jobs on offer, the stands are seeing quite a lot of traffic. Homeless-looking individuals picking up strips of paper from bulletin boards or shaking hands with the employees. A busy sight can be seen across the city, with people moving items around, entering into buildings, and working in the streets. Every so often, the party will pass by buildings with several casters, conjuring up water and food via the use of magic. Other buildings with open doors show engineers tinkering with machines and electronics. The streets are filled with the happy voices of the populace, the arcane weaving of spells and hammering of metal. Looking above, the party make out several post mobiles flying about, dropping letters and packages into windows or onto balconies. Following the paths, the party will eventually arrive in a part of a large market. Ample signs are laid out across the market, noting tourists, locales, tradesmen quarters, and the unfortunates. The markets are full of food salesmen selling off magically summoned meals that will disappear within 24 hours, bottles of pure water alongside purification services for both food and water. As well as the edible stock, plenty of stalls are set up with weapons and armor. Now let's see if I can... Okay, you're going to go to Srekin for a second so I can move you over. This song is a lot quieter than when I tested it.
That's better.
You are now free to discuss amongst yourselves.
Even though you guys are light on money, Kupo, I still got a bit. If there is anything you want here.
Yeah, 'cause you can spend those.
I spelt
good.
for nothing.
I've got a little bit of money.
I think I would like care for is like any food what I haven't tasted before.
Go have a look at the food stalls then, Kupo.
Looking across the market, you'll see plenty of food, and whilst it may be off-putting at first sight, plenty of the food on offer lets off a slight glow and hum, which can easily describe its magical origins. As people bite into their snacks or slurp up their soup, they all have happy faces on them, with seemingly no complaints about what they're being served.
Anything taking?
None of it's like
Kupo?
freshly cooked, it's all just magic food.
Yes.
I'm good, thanks. The same.
Zolmak, Kupo. What are you doing here, Kupo?
Ah! Young apprentice, mug me. It's a good thing you'll come here today, Kupo.
How come you're here, Kupo? You just disappeared back at the temple.
Ah. You see things, mug me, though you do not understand the Kupo.
I still have much to learn, Kupo. I thought you would teach me more.
There is no better teacher within the world than experience of traversal, Kupo.
You just mentioned about how it's good that I'm here, Kupo. How so?
Yes, both the here, as in the geographical location, as well as the time, Kupo. I had taught you all I thought you needed to know back at the temple. Though it seems things have changed since then, Kupo.
How so, Kupo?
It was foretold in the prophecies that many a great things will be done in your land. Though, on my passing, I never for myself realized the change in the tapestry of time, Kupo.
Oh. Is there anything that can be done, Kupo?
Yes, there are many things that you need to do. Though saying too much from my own lungs will change things too irrevocably, Kupo. Time has changed and your fate has shifted. I bring with you a warning, Kupo.
What's this warning, Kupo? Please tell me.
Do not place your faith fully within the magics only contained within yourself. Put your hearts in those that accompany you, Kupo.
I understand, Master Kupo, though my magic's taken me so far. But though my companions, their strength is really strong, Kupo.
There will be a time where your magic fails to aid you. A place where it's sapped away from your fingers and your mind blurred, Kupo.
Okay, Master Kupo. I understand your warning. I'll make sure to have faith in all of my companions, Kupo.
A final warning. But a single phrase I am allowed to give unto you, Kupo. Beware the white-haired woman who roars, Kupo.
The white-haired woman, Kupo? Is there any more description than just her hair? And the fact she's a female, Kupo?
The fact that she would roar, Kupo.
You don't, by any chance, mean... I can't pronounce it.
Wyznwyb. It
That's the
has
one.
a pronunciation in there.
Yeah, I just read it now. You don't
Yeah, because I am
Kupo.
looking at you, looking at it.
Do you mean this woman, Kupo?
Do you mean this woman? Of course. I know this woman.
Wyznwyb.
There you go.
Is this the woman you speak of, Kupo?
I have said all that I can to aid you, mark me, Kupo.
Okay, Master, I understand, Kupo. Thank you for your time.
Time is all that I can bestow upon you at these trying moments, Kupo.
Time is of most importance, Kupo. Oh, how silly of me, Kupo. Let me introduce you to my companions while you're here. This is Kumunch, the big Ku who eats everything, Kupo. Very strong, lots of spells. And this Hume over here, this is Joseph. Watch your pocket, Kupo. He likes to steal things.
Not from people that are paying attention.
And the Remetian over there is also Kupo. She's very strong. Likes to bite ankles. And everyone, this is Zolma, Kupo. He's my master back when I was learning time magic. Oh, and this is also our new companion, Zeralu. He isn't here in our quest, Kupo.
Greetings unto you, old one. Ragtag bunch, if ever I were to see one, Kupo. Though I do bring unto you a gift, Sir Kupo.
Oh. What you got for me?
Zolmug will put his hand into his satchel bag and pull out a piece of meat wrapped in cloth.
Oh, hell yeah. Finally, some actual cooked food. I'm just gonna eat it straight away.
Slurping down the meat, you feel your mind expand. And you will get some spells. If you have learned them or not, I don't know. Though the spells in question may make you more of a healer than you don't want to be.
Hey, as long as there's someone else, as long as I've got more than this one healing, I'm fine. I don't mind healing, I'm just sick of clicking the same button to do so.
What's the one healing you have?
Wow.
Ah. Okay, you should probably learn these ones then. I think you get all of these.
I don't have anything chocobo related, I think.
Okay, eating upon the meat, you will learn those spells.
Ooh.
There we go through all of these then. Blue mage spells.
From what creature did this meat come from, Kupo?
It came from a dying family, far from now. They said that one such as him would require its power, Kupo.
Oh, wow.
You've been doing time travel again, Kupo?
It is all I can do now. Trying to fix the wrongs in the tapestry, Kupo.
Just don't mess with too many things, Kupo. You're the one that's always taught me not to mess with time, Kupo.
Baby steps are all that are required, Kupo. I must leave you now, Mogmi. My time goes back to me, Kupo.
Okay, Kupo. Thank you for all your help. I look forward to meeting you again, Kupo, and hopefully I'll be able to show you more of my strength. And how much I've learned.
It is uncertain if we'll meet again, Kupo.
Well, I know time magic, Kupo. I can always just come back to here. To this point in time.
So that you would kill yourself, Kupo?
Just walk away. Hopefully try and grab
That's
your attention
not-
somehow, Kupo.
That's not how it works, Kupo. Did I teach you? Apparently I did teach you nothing about time magic, Kupo.
You taught me plenty, Kupo.
You're just saying you'll come back to a time where you're already present, Kupo.
I'll just try and grab your attention, Kupo, from further around without trying to grab the attention of myself.
If you see yourself, you'll kill yourself, Kupo.
I could be around here right now, you don't know, Kupo.
If you were around here already, Kupo, you'd be attacking yourself, Kupo.
You have a point, Kupo. Anyway,
I suggest you study that kind of magic before going with it willy-nilly, Kupo.
yes, Master.
And go back to that temple at one point and clean it. It's getting dusty with no one there, Kupo.
Kupo, you told me to go on an adventure, Kupo. I'll go back soon. It's your fault for not getting a cleaner, Kupo. You just keep the doors closed.
It's because it's a sacred place, Kupo.
You could get a cleaner, Kupo.
Yes, I got you, Kupo.
See you around, Kupo.
Possibly. Good luck on your endeavors, Kupo.
I probably won't need it, Kupo, but thank you.
Then he will disappear.
Give the coup a present, but doesn't give me anything, Kupo. So-called master.
I mean, he did give you a warning so you don't die.
True.
So how's Ku much look as he's eating that?
Very healthy. Very healthy. Like we had to kill us again. Can't beat that angel whisper is beautiful.
What does it do?
It heals a little bit, but it gives a re-raise ability for like 7 rounds.
Nice.
So if you get knocked down, you get back up again.
Though you still take the negative levels of raise.
Yeah.
It's a good in-combat kind of thing.
So back on the task at hand, Kupo. Is there anything anyone wants to buy?
Is there any food for Kumunch anywhere else besides in your master's pocket, apparently?
Magical food, sparring, it's not worth it.
Don't want any potions or anything, Kupo? If that's what they're selling around here?
We can always look for another scroll or two.
I doubt we'll need many more scrolls. We've got a white mage plus the scrolls we've already got.
I have the perfect sound clip for asking about the food.
What do you mean?
Your health is low. Do you have any potions or food?
Yeah.
Do you guys wish to buy anything before heading off, or are you all good? You can always buy. Yeah, you can always buy things after learning about the mission if you want to prepare for the mission itself.
Maybe we'll see what the mission is first. I think the only thing I was going to buy is maybe just some more ethers.
You addict.
I might just get turbo ether or 2.
Are you or are you not? You're gonna wait.
I'll buy 2 turbo ethers if they have them here.
They will.
So I'll buy those now.
Actually, just let me double check. Yep, you're fine.
Cool.
They were on the very edge of what you can buy here.
Cool. Then yeah.
Speaking of here, if you want to, you can roll a knowledge local. If you want to learn more about the area.
Sure. Apparently, I like this area.
On Joseph for the high.
Jeez. Well, you definitely know the area.
Oh, been here before.
You already know that it's basically called Cistern Hold, and its nickname is the Walls of Overflowing Waters. It is majorly a recycling city, which focuses mainly on purifying water, conjuring food, and repairing broken down mechanics and electronics. The main aim of the city is basically to rid the world of pollution, which majorly affects the oceans, as they bring in ocean water into the northern part of the city, which is set up into 3 different holding cells. They remove the debris, purify the water, and then they sell that water off, as well as recycling any materials they can find as well.
Nice.
Which is why there's a heavy emphasis on a load of food and water everywhere, as well as just feeding the poor. Because a lot of the purification summoning water stuff is cantrips, so they can do that. Technically endlessly, though it's still tiring work. Grimidar would like this place.
Hmm.
So yeah, if no one else is buying anything, we'll go learn about the mission.
Alright. Just get to the correct place. Okay. After having your fill of the market, the party can ask Zeralu to take them to Duranben. After asking, Zeralu will take the party to the north part of the city, more north than where you are currently. Walking for quite a few minutes. Growing in stature, the party will approach the northern walls of the city. Seagulls fill the skies alongside the scent of the ocean. A salty breeze mixes in with a clean sensation in the air, as if purified via magic. The streets take on a similar style and design, with clean windows, brick without blemishes, and general order. The ground beneath the party's feet starts to shake slightly, as shouting can be heard up ahead. Opening area 2 to 3, brace yourself for water impact. With the shouts, the shaking gets fiercer, as rushing water is easily audible behind the wall. Sprinkles of water crashing over the walls to the streets, creating an almost sprinkler-like effect. Any nearby villages in sight can be seen with cups to catch the water, or rubbing it into their hands and hair. The water droplets sparkle against the sunlight, extremely clear and mouth-watering. Anyone want to do anything with the sprinkles of water?
Come on, Troll, stick your tongue out and catch a few drops.
A few? With how long your tongue is?
Mock me will probably try and hide under
a few.
Kumach's cloak.
Under the tongue.
Yeah, use it as an umbrella. Probably get dribble on him though, so no, he'll probably try and hide under your clothes.
You can please stand between his feet. Kumach, as you decide to drink the falling water, you will definitely taste its purity, cleansing the palate immensely, and tasting like the best water you've ever drunk.
Baby.
Is Joseph just gonna stand there?
I'll quench my thirst, I guess.
The same will be said for you. And you think to yourself, this water would go great with your mom's casserole.
Got one left.
You gotta save it for the end boss. Just give them food to make them happy.
I was gonna share it with somebody.
And as you are experiencing the sprinkles, Zeralu will turn to the party and begin to explain the walls. I'll assume this is your first visit, so I'll explain a little. Up ahead, as you can see, is the major ocean cleaning operation. A set of three enclosed areas surrounded by movable walls, each containing vast quantities of water. They bring in ocean water into the first portion, remove larger debris or corpses, and then move it into the second portion, where the Everwater Orb and spellcasters purify the waters. They then move the purified water into the third portion for final checks before they ship it off to shops or other settlements. The Everwater Orb itself is a marvel of magical ingenuity. What once started off as a normal magical item is now won the power of a relic from the use it has seen. Rumors also circulate that Leviathan blessed the orb to aid in the endeavors of Sistine Hold.
I've heard the name of that orb before. That's one of the artifacts that the group is trying to get in the grand scheme of things, isn't it? Is that our job?
As far as I hear it, the Everwater Orb is not the main goal, though we are searching for something similar. Since the new plane will require vast amounts of water to gift onto all the denizens of the plane.
Couldn't we just have a bunch of white mages go there and create water?
Casting cantrips non-stop would definitely be draining on whoever would do it, even if you can do them almost infinitely. And it's much simpler to have an item do it than have several dozen mages do it. It is also not sustainable in the end. Mages will eventually get bored of what they do and wish to do something else. Or they may even leave the plane. An item would stay there indefinitely.
True enough. So if we're not in particular looking for the Everwater Orb, are we looking for something similar? What would that be?
I do not know the details. We should be learning that from Dranben.
Yeah, that's true. We should probably go see him soon.
I reckon we make our way over there.
Taking a sip from the air, Zeralu swallows with delight. We're close to the next base, only a few more buildings down. Continuing to follow Zeralu, the party will come to a large building, made of a light brick with light wood framed windows. Two large oaken doors are held open, several designs of waterfalls etched into its surface. A large sign hangs atop the door frame, reading Water Purifiers. Inside the building, the party can see several tables and stools set up with workers drinking from tankards of crystal clear water, sweat on their exposed muscles. Other workers are draped in white robes with staves strapped to their backs. Several doors and staircases lead to other rooms, as well as both upstairs and downstairs. Workers at work are seen moving boxes and barrels around. A Hume attendant of the building, wearing more formal attire, alongside holding a notepad, approaches the party. Welcome to Water Purifiers. Your band looks new and more equipped for adventuring than our guild's work. Are you here to meet a member? Zeralu will then bring out a diamond-shaped sheet of metal the size of a coin and shows it to the attendant, to which the Hume will respond. Ah, associates of Dranben, please, follow me this way. The Hume will then lead the party through the building, passing through several doors and hallways. The party will eventually end up at a large meeting room, to which the Hume will open the doors into. Leading into a large room, the meeting room has a large table sat in the middle with several chairs around it. Bookshelves and cabinets line the walls, with the far end housing a huge map of the city itself, with diagrams and writings for the different operations in the city. Reading the large city map at the back of the room is a middle-aged Albed and the Gauker, Dranben. Hearing the party enter into the room, the Albed and Dranben will turn around. Waving an arm to the party, the Albed will start to speak. You must be the partners of Sir Dranben here. We've been awaiting your arrival. Let me introduce myself. I am the Water Purer, Fidan. I helm the Water Purifiers Guild within System Hold. Dranben will then continue with a strong, authoritative voice. For the new recruits among you, I am Dranben, Lieutenant to Titan Brackbaker. I trust the travel here was swift and comfortable.
As swift and comfortable as you could expect, taking a teleportation circle.
Absolutely, Kupo. Pretty instant, if you ask me.
The two men then move towards some of the chairs and sit down, though Dranben barely fits atop his. Fidan will wave his hand to the chairs. Please, be seated. It'll be much more convenient for our discussion.
Mogme will proceed to sit down.
Much will look for the biggest chair to sit on.
Sadly, they're all similar sizes.
We'll struggle to
Joseph.
fit in one of the chairs.
Joseph will sit in the closest chair to him.
I don't let the music change. Are we getting traps?
No, this is just like the meeting music. I mean, you could get trapped in the chairs. The chairs were mimics. They're eating your ass.
Baby.
Not in that way. After sitting down, or choosing to stand, Fidan will continue. I will not bore you with the discussion I held with Sir Dranben here. Instead, I shall give you the cliff notes. The Water Purifiers Guild has accepted a joint venture with the Divine Destroyers to aid in their creation for a new plane. We believe that the less people that are housed within the plane, the better, as resources will be more aptly divided, alongside less people to create pollution. And I should change that word. To that end, we are willing to aid in the creation of a new Everwater orb, though with the ideal outcome to create bountiful, purified water, rather than purify already existing water. Our guild does not come out at a loss in this agreement, however. We will also be aiding our magical research department, alongside bringing us materials. Dranben will then slide over some documents to the party, detailing a local set of ruins to the southwest, about 2 days' ride via Chocobo. Dranben will then pick up the explanation. I have been assured of your prowess in combat, as well as approaching non-combat situations. With these in mind, you're the best team situated for the task. You are to travel to an old Leviathan cult temple to the southwest, around about 96 miles to the southwest. Once there, you will acquire 3 materials for us: crystal glass, divine water, and a Leviathan scale. Where possible, bring us 2 scales, around 30 pounds of glass, and 8 gallons of water. We are to believe all of these materials are to be found within the ruins. The scales, in particular, will be the hardest to obtain, as you will need to defeat a Leviathan primal that is currently guarding the innermost depths of the ruins. Dranben then slides over some paintings depicting the glass, water, and scales, as well as details attached to them on the weights and quantities. Several astrologians have scryed the area, and it is also infested with monsters of various kinds. Whatever parties or adventurers have travelled there have either left with serious injury or not left at all. For your work and delivery of the items, you'll be paid a total of 133,000 gil. Do you have any questions?
Remind me what ruins we're going to again? Kupo?
Violence.
It's a Leviathan cult.
How many scales do you need?
They need at least one, though 2 is preferable.
Okay.
Coop, much that means we have to find at least 3 if you want to eat one.
Maybe. Not my fault if it somehow slips in my mouth. Right. Are we carrying 8 gallons of water?
Who are you asking?
Everyone.
What was the question?
We're carrying 8 gallons of water.
That's easy. I've got a hole that you can just hold whatever we want.
Okay, but once again, we're not just going to scoop the water up with the hole. How are we going to transport the water?
We can grab a couple of buckets.
Buckets that are
We
going to
can
hold 8
get a
gallons.
bucket.
8 1-gallon
Gonna need-
buckets would be fine.
We're going to need, like... I'd say wouldn't it be easier if we had, like, barrels? Because we could put the barrels in the hole. Kumach could probably lift them.
Yeah, we can. That would probably work too. Is there a... I believe it's called a Cooper around here?
I'll also just ask over the table, like, is there any preferred way you'd like us to transport the water? Or do you not mind what it's held or contained in? As long as it's just delivered.
Fidan will reply. The water would be best stored within a barrel of some sort. Having it just free would be quite an issue to move it between our facilities. So it's up to you what you contain it within.
Will you be
But he's got a couple
supplying
barrels.
said barrels, or would you like us to go and supply ourselves with the barrels?
You will be supplying yourself with the barrel.
Okay, that's fine. And only other thing is the glass, obviously that can't go into like a bag of holding. Can that be put into the portable hole?
Should be able to. We could also just get another barrel.
Yeah,
Might need a
put all the glass in
bigger
another barrel.
barrel.
Oh, there you go. We only need 2 barrels.
You need 1 barrel.
You're not going to mix the glass with the water, are you?
No, I wouldn't.
So we'll need 2 barrels.
Sounds good. It's doable.
Okay. I guess we will search around the market for 2 barrels to take with us to put in the portable hole. The Leviathan scales we should just be able to hold. Well, put in a bag, for example.
They would not be able to go in the bag. It's a scale. They're sharp.
I'll hold on to him.
Go into a backpack or the hole.
That's fine.
What's the time of the day right now? Would we start travel now or do we start tomorrow?
It's still morning.
So we can just immediately start.
Yeah.
I'll ask that this obviously cult that we're going to, what sort of creatures would we be expecting to meet there? Or on the way, I should say.
Pottery ones.
Frydan will reply. It is hard to pinpoint all the enemies within the ruins. However, many are able to cast spells, or use abilities similar thereof. We were able to make out at least one type of Medusa within, so a way to prevent or cure petrification is also key. One thing we can make sure of, plenty of outsiders now call locale their home, either native or otherwise. I can suggest some form of resistance to water and earth elemental damage.
So we've got an elemental resist wand. What have we got?
Indeed.
What have we got in terms of curing petrification?
That's what I'm looking up right now, what it requires.
Can petrification be cured by your spring water?
Golden needles.
Can't need gold needles.
No, spring water all depends on what spell level it did. And petrification is not exactly a low level spell.
Do you know of your new spells you just learnt? Get rid of stasis.
One of them is Asuna. It's only personal.
Yeah. That's not going to help you when you're petrified.
I'm sure we can buy a couple
Wait,
of
no.
needles. I can buy a couple. No, I think other than that, we're ready. Obviously, I just need to go and buy some golden needles.
Yeah. Depending on what level it is, we've also got our white mage and several scrolls that could potentially get rid of it, such as Greater Asuna and other stuff.
He does also have a protection from elements spell, so he can also give us elemental resistance.
That would be nice too.
He's got a third and fourth spell that do it.
Enemy resistance is per hit, so like 10 off of every hit. Protection from elements gives you basically temp health for a certain element.
Okay, so
We
can
need
go
both.
further well, I'd say further resistance over the. But yeah, both is.
But you can have both at the same time, but it would take from the temp health before taking off resistance.
Right.
It's very good to have.
Someone just go quickly check around town. Do they sell golden needles?
Do you have any other questions for Faidan or Dranben?
Nothing that I can think of. Anyone else?
Uh,
I'll look to Zoralu and see if he's got any questions.
Well, Zeralu's going to ask for any more information about the cult itself. And Faidan will reply. They were an old group, established around 200 years ago, and disbanded a mere 10 years later. They had used magic to erect their temple, as well as to dig into the earth. Their main goal was to summon the deity form Leviathan to flood the world. Thankfully, the graceful god did not deign to give them assistance. One day, they used dark magics to summon a primal form of Leviathan that backfired on them, destroying most of what they had built, as well as killing most of the members. Now the ruins are only home to monsters, corpses, and the sleeping primal within.
The primal Leviathan. That sounds exciting.
know how strong this primal is?
Primals are always a dangerous force to reckon with. I suggest you be at your best when you approach it. Primals are hardly beings to talk with. Most of the time, they attack on sight.
We better stay out of sight then.
Well, you would need to kill the Leviathan to gain the scales.
I was about to say that as well.
Got any tools to help us get the scales off the Leviathan?
Dranben will then speak up. I have already instructed Zeralu in how to acquire these materials, including the scales. Refer to him when you find such materials, and he will be able to extract them.
That means no eating the body until he's done, Q-Munch.
It looks tasty.
I'm sure it does, and I'm sure it
Sushi.
tastes nice too. But you have to wait.
But Mom!
Is there anything else that needs to be said? I'm gonna assume no then.
I think we're good. We just need to buy some gold needles. Zeralu, do any of your spells get rid of petrification status?
Sadly, my magic is not well equipped for status effects.
What would get rid of it in spell form?
Yes.
The sooner greater or best, depending on the quality of the effect.
Oh, I've got a couple of scrolls of Basuna Greater, and I've got, I believe, one Basuna.
You could also acquire a stoner scroll.
Oh, that might be lower.
Stoner just removes petrification regardless of the level. It also doesn't need to make any checks or anything, you just cast it and it gets rid of it.
I'm looking it up right now.
And I guess you guys leave the meeting room.
Okay.
As a note, you can buy scrolls to teach spells to Zeralu, but I'll let you know he's not a permanent party member. So
I'm
it's up to
thinking-
you if you wish to do that.
You just want to give him this one spell and then get a golden needle or two just in case he gets petrified.
Sounds good.
Still a
Ooh,
hello lot
it's-
cheaper on the Asuna.
It's a level 4 spell, so we could also. First of all, we could actually just get a scroll of it and teach it to him.
That's what he just said.
Heard that.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody say a wand.
I don't
I
know.
don't think anyone said a wand.
Nope.
A wand would
I
be
was
21k.
Going to suggest it, but that's way expensive.
Yeah,
We'll
21k.
buy one scroll, teach it this guy, and buy a couple of golden needles just in case he gets petrified.
Exactly, perfect.
Not me though, because I literally have 0 guilt to my name. That's on you guys.
Well, actually, what's the difference in cost between a scroll of Stona and a gold needle? Because if the scroll is less expensive, we might go with that.
Same. The gold
It's the
needle
same.
and the scroll are the exact same price.
Oh, okay.
So, I think what I'll do is I'll buy one scroll and then I'll get 3 gold needles just as a precaution.
Alright,
If we get the golden needles, we'll buy them scrolls because everyone can use them.
Zeralu will use the cantrip read magic, and his spellcraft is more than enough to learn it. Though as a note, I don't think you guys can see his shield at all. Okay, I'll just make that change so you can see everything he does. Public. Okay, now you can see your stuff. He's not going to roll, he's just going to take a 10, because why not take a 10?
So I'll give a gold needle to myself, Joseph, and Kumach. I doubt Osa would use them anyway, so...
Yeah, in the middle of battle, she probably wouldn't think of using it.
Just quickly throw Stoner onto this guy's list.
There you go, Zualo. Already benefiting from being around us.
Yes, this breadth of knowledge would definitely be useful if I am to survive this mission.
Well, if everyone's happy, I guess we'll make
Yep.
our way towards the ruins. Has Zarala got a chocobo to ride?
No.
So we'll need to rent a chocobo. Has he got any money to rent his own chocobo or not?
Just teleport there.
We can also just teleport there.
There'd be multiple
long
trips.
as
Never mind.
As long as I'm given. Yeah,
You-
good point.
You have been told where it is, so you can teleport there.
So Mogmi, what's your caster mod? The caster score? Like your intelligence or whatever it is you use?
+8.
What's the actual number? Is it 7?
No, the mod is 8. The number is 27.
The actual. So your MP should be the same as mine. I haven't increased the. You can cast 8th level spells right now. So you should be getting 48 from the bonus MP per day by spell level table. 46, sorry. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, just did it. Thank
There
you.
you go. We're literally on the same, so.
I think both of you also have extra MP.
Right. So who's jumping in the bags of holding so we can teleport in one go?
Hang on, I'm just
Unless
trying
you
to
can do
work
all
it
of us
out.
now, I don't know.
That's right now, I'm trying to work it out. So, 1 additional per 3 cast level. I can do everyone. In one go.
See.
You can do yourself and 5 others, can't you?
Yep. 5 smaller or medium creatures. So everyone here can be teleported if they all link hands.
Let's go.
And teleport.
You link up hands and teleport away. And as you teleport away, we shall have our break here.
Okay. Alright, stream's back to normal.
You haven't muted anything, have you?
Nope.
Alright. So you're readied and teleported off. Let's move you over to here.
Defeat the cult.
Yeah. Okay. As you teleport across a relatively short distance in comparison to what you traverse between Sarakan and Sistan Hold, you appear in front of the ruins. As you reach an exterior, has a startling sight of over. The ruins definitely haven't seen much use in recent times. Large stone walls hold up several branches and vines, pillars barely standing tall against others that are rubble on the floor. A set of large iron doors bar entrance into the ruins. Etched into the doors are drawings of an endless Leviathan wrapping around the iron.
Out this thing over here on the floor? Is it?
That's a pillar.
Alright.
And
is it
just
like
before-
a broken pillar?
just before we go,
That's a broken pillar, yeah.
Mogmi's going to cast a spell on himself quickly.
Alright. And as everyone else approaches the door, the party will feel a sharp change in the air, becoming hot and smelling of sulfur. With a spark of red lightning forming into two orbs of abyssal black, two explosions erupt near the walls, summoning two demonic beings in their places. With flaming bodies and whips, the demons roar at the party and attack.
Terrible stuff.
Well, there goes my 3 really good rolls. An 18 and 2 19s.
Yep, and those are your good rolls for the day.
You already had crit as well, so that's good.
Okay, it's one of these guys' turn first. If you want
need
to
add me to the turn order.
Huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
added
yeah.
me.
Ooh, who goes first? Fuck me all that thing.
Mogmi's a high bonus, she go first. He goes first. And if you want to identify the creatures, it is a knowledge planes.
I'm literally going to wait for Mogmi to roll and work out if I need to take a 10 or not. So that's terrible.
I was waiting for you to roll then to see if I needed to add my plus 15. But I thought it was alright.
Okay, Joseph does not know.
To be honest, hang on. I'm just gonna re-roll mine with a mote of time, just because I can, and it gives me a really high roll insight bonus.
Did you roll quite high?
And I have
Roll
so many
12.
motes that I never use them all, so I get a +8 for this knowledge roll. Wow, not even. It's better than what I had, but
The same as me, yay!
yeah, 33. It's better than what I had.
Alright. You know that this is a Acrocrypher, a high-ranking demon that commands its lower-class minions in the demon world, where rank and caste is everything. It feeds on negative human emotions, such as fear and hatred. Usually it leaves the dirty work to its minions, but it will make an occasional appearance when it senses a particularly strong sense of dread. You can learn 6 traits.
Zeralu, quit being scared, man.
Why is he scared?
I was kidding because that's what the description says.
Alright. The normal stuff, so we can save any weaknesses, immunities.
Write it down.
I swear we used to have a list somewhere there where you just literally copied and pasted.
Yep.
I don't know where it's gone.
We say that every time there's a knowledge thing going on.
I think that there was a button that Alessia had that we just
No,
pushed.
that was the nighttime watch. I'll make another one.
Okay.
But just put in a list of what you want to know, and then I'll, from now on, just put it in a list.
Does it have MP?
Yeah. I probably have magic, so. That's one a while, so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's right. I'm happy with that.
The melee people want anything?
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay, dokie. Its weakest save is Reflex. It has a weakness to Holy. It is immune to lightning, fire, and poison. It does have magic. It has a special ability called Concentrating Magical Power, where twice a day it can cast 2 spells with a standard action. And Entangle, where it can basically grapple you with its whip, and it does not gain the grapple condition itself.
All done. Added in. So they're weak to Holy, are they?
Yes.
That's what my staff is. So, Mogmi.
Shooting them.
My staff is also of that element among me.
Sounds good.
Oh.
Mogmi will move to here. Wait, no, he won't.
Just 5 foot step so you can full attack.
Yeah, 5 foot to there and then full attack. The one on the right.
Right there.
Yeah, it's fine. Obviously the lightning does nothing, so he's immune to it.
The first 2 will hit. As they smash against the large demon's body, his eyes glare towards Mogmi. Is Mogmi done?
Yep.
The demon that's got hit is going to 5 a step up. And it's going to attack Mogme. Is Mogme not doing anything in retaliation?
I don't have contingency up or anything. I was going to do a contingency before this fight happened, but I didn't have time.
What is your CMD?
Not high enough.
That's a good way to look at it.
16.
Okay, you are getting hit 5 times as he slashes
Ow.
at you with his sword, whips you with his whip, and slams its head into you as you take that damage.
I'm dead.
And as it does so, it pulls you into it with his whip as the whip starts to burn your body. As it mouths open, a deathly scent comes from it. As you start to lose your consciousness, you can barely make out the words it speaks, as no one can understand its language. And it will say...
I'm dead.
In
I
a
probably
very-
can't even hear this.
You can hear it as you die. And he will say that no one understands. Because that's Abyssal.
Chikuchi, ya ya da da.
Yeah! I mean, you try and pronounce that. Osa.
Oh boy. She is gonna 5-foot step in full attack. That's what she would do.
Not
She
raging or frenzying.
Not yet.
She doesn't normally frenzy until she gets hit, does
We've
she?
seen it just one shot mug me.
Say that one more time.
Just watched one of them one shot mug me.
For one
okay.
turn, but yeah.
Yeah.
Can she voluntarily go into a frenzy?
Yeah.
Just by your own time.
One second. I guess she's gonna go into a rage.
But what type of rage?
The normal. Oh wait, she's got forms. Doesn't?
The one she normally goes through is the DR one, but that got nerfed, so I don't know if it's
Oh.
worth it anymore.
Okay. She's got invincible rage. That's the one she normally goes to, right?
Yeah, but that got nerfed since last time we played. I don't know whichever one she's chosen. She should have 4 at this level.
Yeah, she's got invincible rage, closing wounds rage, elemental rage, and invincible range doubled, whatever that means.
That'll be for limit break.
Okay. Oh, it looks like she only has three of them. I guess
the 15 level one then. Stay with the DR one because the others aren't really that good.
Yeah, okay. So, I don't know how to do this. Do I have Rage and Invincible Rage form
Yeah,
clicked? Okay.
because Rage is the base bonus, and then the form adds additional things.
Okay, it looks like those things updated. Now, she's got 3 different types of attacks. Weapon full attack, is that? So she's got claws and fangs, she's got weapon claw bite, and she's got weapon full attack. So I don't know which one to do.
For the full attack.
Okay.
And she has claws, so you can do the full attack and the claws and bite as well.
She can't do claws because she's two-handing her weapon.
Alright, you can do the bite.
Oh, she's got an elemental thing in here. I don't know what that is. I think that's probably her.
Elemental range. Yeah. No, she got. Well, is it a question or something?
Yeah, she's got something where she has 2 different elements and
Rings,
pick
probably.
one. Yeah, ring, which I believe she typically uses her fire ring, so I'll just leave that one there. That looks about right.
Yes, it does. As she hits, you will realise she's doing less damage than she should. First hits, the third hits, the second and the bite will miss.
Yeesh.
Good bunch.
Oh. This one near me hasn't had a turn, so it won't be able to attack, will it?
No.
All bonuses to our will save. Well, all our saves against these things. Well, first I'll start with a scan because that's easy and pretty much free right now. Let's... What is it now? So yeah, what's knowledge planes DC20? I can't fail. So tell me any abilities I can learn from it.
You sure you want me to tell you what you can learn?
I don't know if that's good or bad, so I don't know.
20 tells you what the abilities do as well as their names, yeah?
The wording is check to know what abilities can be learned. It doesn't say if I know what they are. It's literally... I'd assume I know what they do if I know what they are. I don't know. And ask Bill.
Yeah, there should be you learn what they actually do, because there was previous wording and he's changed it for the no save thing. Okay, so he has level 3 Confuse. We're at a 30-foot radius. Anyone with a multiple of 3 in their hit die needs to make a will save or be confused.
Not us.
It is all of you,
Yeah,
except for Sterling. He also has level 4 Flare, where in a 30-foot radius, he deals 14 d8 fire damage and inflicts burning. And if you are a hit die multiple of 4, you make a will save, or you die. And then level 5 Death, where all enemies within a 30-foot radius, if you're a multiple of 5 hit die, make a fortitude save or die.
Oh, that's good. I can't force it to do any of them, because...
Sure you can!
hurt.
Make me do one of those to you.
Flare 1 won't kill us, however it'll do a lot of damage. I'll ask Zerula if he can give us fire resistance this turn. Or any resistance to fire.
Let me just double check if this is touch. I can move into position to give you free and myself resistance to fire. But what about Mugby?
And Mogmi's dead. We'll have to revive her after the fight.
He has Breath of Life. And Breath of Life, he touches a dead creature, he heals it, and if the health is above their minus, it comes back to life. And it has to be done within 1 round of them dying.
Do you know how much damage she's taking? Do you think he's able... I don't know how much Breath of Life heals.
For him, 7d8 plus 10.
Does that provoke attacks of opportunity? Because the guy just hit Mogmi from that far away.
But also him giving resistance to you three would also provoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna... I've got something to try then. I think it's the best choice here. I will make this an 8th level spell, so increase the DC by 3. Yeah, just 5 a step to be safer. And then on this one closest to me, I will cast Mind Blast, making it 8th level spell.
Okay, as you cast that, the one on the right is going to attack opportunity you.
Jesus Christ.
As he whips out his whip. It's basically the Balrog's whip. And what is your CMD?
High enough.
You say that.
28.
28? Well, I rolled a 1. So he won't grapple you. However, he will hit you. For that.
I've got 19, so what's the check I've got to make?
29 plus spell level, 8. So 37. 37
Can do
concentration.
Yeah, I'm going to use my once a day reroll, and it gains +4. Add 4 to this.
There
Yeah,
you
39. Wait, 26, 27.
Huh?
DC for that is...
It beats to 26. And that's enfeebling, so 28. Unless you already have the +2 in there.
Oh no, there's no +2 in there.
You get +2 to enfeebling spells, so that'd be a 28.
Yes. Please work.
As you cast the spell at the creature, It hits against its body, but then you see the spell shatter.
Wait, what's that? I need to make a...
You can make a spellcraft. It was most likely spell resistance.
Do I make a check to overcome that, or is it?
Yeah, it's already in there. It's your cast level check.
Would 22 beat it?
Let me just double check Mind Blast itself. Yeah, spell resistance and Mind Blast. 22. Why would it be 22? Oh yeah, plus 2 to... yeah, I didn't even see that, sorry. 22 does not beat it, no.
Roll the 5. You know what? It's me. For a point to reroll, I cast a level.
That's the way you go from leveling, isn't it? So you're back down to 0 with this.
Correct.
It's just how it goes with you. Next campaign, you should just pick up the for more hero points. Because there's one to give you a maximum of 4, and one to give you 2 on level up.
Oh yeah, you know I'd still have 0.
Probably, but you'd use them more often.
May as well. I'm not gonna after seeing it one turn mog me. I'm going to do it. So does 27 help?
Okay, 27 will overcome this SR. Now let's see if it was all in vain and I roll really high on the will.
Say that. Yeah, it's quite a high save. 20, yeah, 28.
That's a targeted one, right? Which one are you targeting?
One to me, closest to me.
Yeah, okay.
I could do the other one if you want.
If you already picked your target, you already picked your target.
It's not gone through yet. It's going to make no difference which one.
I've already rolled on the left one.
Alright.
Okay, and he will save.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I literally used so much for that.
Yeah. You'll get him next time. Is that it?
As a move action... I don't know. Yeah, that'll do. I don't really want to force it to do anything.
So you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I don't want to force it to kill us all.
Alright. We'll go to Zeralu, who I guess is going to be giving you some fire protection.
Oh wait, sorry, no, hold up. If he's giving us fire protection, I will do something. If not...
Well, you told him to.
The reason but I thought you were going to revive Mogme.
You were very on the fence about that.
In that case, I will try force this M1 to do the fire weapon attack.
Okay.
DC is...
You can just press the invoke button.
Do I have it?
Yeah, in the top left of your token.
5.
What are you wanting to make another fire one, you said, yeah?
Yeah. None of us are a HD4, so it won't kill us, and we'll have fire resistance.
Well, I fumbled on that, so he's going to use his fire thing on you.
That will kill somebody in a turn, so that's the best option we've got.
Oh boy, the description I love. Let me just double check what it is. Okay, so everyone has 20 fire resistance. And that'll be for 20 minutes each.
And that's the one that once you get to 20, you stop.
no,
or is
that's
that the
just
one
20.
that
No.
every
It's
hit?
20 for every hit.
Okay.
It goes to the Apocrypha on the left, who is being forced to do this against his will.
I'm sure he don't actually mind that much, to be honest.
He probably gets annoyed being told what to do when he is a commander.
Oh, wait.
Okay, you're all not multiples of 4. So I'm pretty sure this is just straight up damage.
There's no saving the fire damage. Jesus.
Nope, it's just straight up fire damage.
Oh my god, that spell.
It's probably different when you learn it, but for him, this is how it works.
Do we get saves at all?
Nope, you only get
No.
saves for the death effect.
Oh, you didn't. Oh my god.
Okay, so everyone will take 52 fire, take off 20, and you're all on fire.
32 damage.
Yes.
Burning won't really do all to us though, will it?
None of... But yeah, burning doesn't really do anything because it's like D6 around.
That's a lot
Whatever
less
the deal-
damage than he could have done.
Oh yeah. Almost half. So Joseph remember to take off Osa, he did.
It also has fire resistance, remember?
Does not stack.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
20 resistance to fire everyone has, but resistance doesn't stack. I'm pretty sure hers does not say it does. There's very few things that stack. Alright. Well, then, 5 is step to here.
It does stack with all of us.
Huh?
The Invincible Rage, DR, and Elemental Resistance, it says it does stack with everything else.
Okay.
She has
how much
5.
do you have?
Just
So,
5.
25.
So
She
she's
goes to 5 HP.
so how much did she lose?
5 less. So just give her 5 more HP. So 180.
Okay, sorry for the wits. It will then go to Joseph.
Who is going to 5-foot step, feint, and attack this guy in front of him. Probably not going to hit unless they have a lot of decks.
Rolled a 3, that's just not right.
That feint will fail.
The 40 feint will fail?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, they are demons.
Yeah, that's true. -4. Still. Yeah, I probably don't hit at all then.
And that will certainly miss. You done?
Yep.
Okay, it goes to the Crocodile on the right. Who shall tumble. Okay, what's your CMD?
32?
Okay, he will succeed.
$33 if it makes a difference.
And he shall roll to there. He's then going to cast spells defensively.
Oh.
Well, it was nice knowing you guys. TPK, finally.
Finally!
This is bad.
Okay, everyone needs to make 2 fortitude saves, please.
Including Mogmi or no?
Longme's dead. So no. I don't know why I did GM saves for Zeralu, but he got an 11 and 25.
Ouch.
Okay, so everyone except for Zeralu will fail one of his save. Well, everyone except Zeralu will save. Zeralu will fail one of his. And his HP is cut in half. And then it'll go to Osa.
I don't think she can make that save, so I think she has to frenzy.
Probably could make that save whilst raging.
Oh well, she
Only 27.
at this point, Mogmi's down, and
Who else is down?
the situation is not looking good, and they're doing lots of damage, so she's probably going to frenzy anyways. And now I can't find her buffs. Where did they go?
On the top right, there should be a drop down for buffs.
Yeah, I opened that and it's got her current one. Oh no, that's haste. Where's the rest of her buffs at?
Have you minimized them?
It would help if I was on the right sheet.
Nah. Yeah, that probably would help.
Okay, so now that that's updated. She is still right next to that one, so she will full attack it.
First one will hit. Second one will hit. Third one will miss. Frenzy will hit. The bite will confirm. And all of those doing less than she would expect. Done?
Yeah, that's her full attack action, so she's got nothing else.
Alrighty. Good much.
I was cast defensively again.
It's concentration. It's against their CMD, but since there's an additional one, it's +2 to the check. No, not against their CMD, sorry. Let me just double check, because...
You know, like 10 plus double spell level or something.
Yeah. I can never remember it's 15 or 10.
I don't think Kumaj can fail that right now, can he?
Okay, so for cast defensively, it is 15 plus double spell level, and then +2 because it's an additional target.
Can fail it.
What spell are you trying to cast?
5th level spell. It's just to heal us.
Well, it Cyril was going to be doing some healing as you wanted him to do something else.
Can he heal enough?
He is a white mage. His healing is a lot better than yours.
I don't know what else I can do yet, because everything I can do would require a... Wait, could also make me her pack hunting thing.
She could. I haven't actually specifically said that she has picked anybody, but she typically says that it's me.
Yeah, but
How would it benefit you?
I can attack as well, don't forget. I have quite enough.
What?
That's true. I don't know how often she can change that.
It's whenever she rages, or whenever she's in a rage. She shares the rage power.
Right, but can she change it on her turn, or does it take an action of any kind?
Let's have a look.
Forms. She stays in one form per race.
no,
Powers,
it's one
you could just use them, I think.
She enters a rage, so she has to choose it when she enters a rage. But she normally would go for it. Right.
Yeah, she would.
I'm just gonna 5 a step. Because I've still got reach that still threaten you on this, so +2 to any DC saves.
Yep.
What's with the lines? Trying to look at flanking.
Oh, I've got a line spell. Actually really helpful, but once a day as well, and we're literally at the entrance to the cave, so I don't want to use every one a day ability I've got. No, I'm just gonna start wailing this guy, that's all I can do. I'll just hit him a lot. So I don't have haste, do I? Can't remember.
No,
No,
currently
that's
no.
the only one I can do. Sprint shoes don't give me anything correct. That's great. Yeah, so that's all I can do. So, yeah, 5 foot step and Fire away. So all my reflex save spells are all lightning damage. So he's kind of counting me so hard. Like,
You had your chance with all of the water elementals.
my first lot are a lot better because I don't know if any of this helps. There's coal iron, adamantine, magic, silver. Ghost touch.
You feel as if your attack's doing full damage, except for lightning.
Yeah.
First two will hit, crit confirm. The third will miss. First claw will hit. The last one will miss.
It's more than I could have done.
You done?
If that was a full attack and everything else is swift, so...
You can do so much more!
Everything's a like move action now, so no, I can't.
So you're done then?
Yeah.
We'll go to Zeralu. Need to check how much regen he actually has. He'll gain 1 from his regen. Or 2 from his regen. As a swift action, he'll cast Heal Omega. So everyone will heal for 22. And he wants some more health, so he will also cast Defensively Kiraga.
Does Mogmi get that healing as well?
But Beast's dead.
Okay.
Only Breath of Life would heal it.
Or resurrection type stuff.
Yeah. I was just talking like actually healing the damage.
Okay.
Needs an 11. Oh, that concentration check there. And everyone will also heal for 46. And he is going to fight a step to here. The Cockratha on the left. Will call forth a great wraith as it hovers over all of you and slash at you all with its scythe, and everyone needs to make a fortitude save. And Zeralu will die.
Nice.
Well, you had him for one encounter. Joseph.
Attack of Zero and Ulcer is.
What was that?
You and Ulcer need to focus the same target because of her hunting pack.
Yeah, I was about to. I'm going to use a hero point to increase my next roll by +8, and then I'm going to acrobatics up to this guy on the left, and then attempt to hit him. So 40 against his CMD, right?
Yeah. And that will fail, as both of them will attack against you.
That'll fail.
Yep.
I rolled a 4. I'm gonna re-roll that with my last hero point.
You won't get the +8. And you
I
also use the
know.
hero point. You're going to use one hero point around.
Oh, well then yeah, I can't do anything then.
I mean, you can
Roll.
you can still move the distance. You just get attacked.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
It's not because we know how they attack.
I mean, it's fine for me. Okay. As you get attacked by the guy you're going towards, you'll get hit for 15 damage. I won't care about the fire. And what is your CMD? You said yours was 32, yeah?
33.
33. Okay, you're fine. You just take damage.
Okay, not tripped anywhere.
Nope.
Oh man. Okay. I will make my attack then, since I'm there. I've already got flanking added in there. Actually, you know what? I can actually move one more because my speed is 40. I can go 20 on a acro check, right?
You move half your speed when you do the roll.
All right, yeah. So I'm going to actually move one more square forward still.
You're getting flanking because of the pact, yeah?
I'm getting flanking because of the pack, and I'm also getting flanking because of Q-Munch.
You're not on diagonals, so you wouldn't.
Oh,
Yeah, flank
yeah,
from
that's true.
Ulcer's pack. It doesn't matter about me.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
checking the pack.
yeah.
I'm just checking the pack because it might not even affect this guy. Where's the pack from? Is it Rage Powers?
The rage power, yeah.
Yeah, it's from Rage Powers.
Okay, pack.
Just considered flanked by all members of the pact.
As long as they're adjacent to the same target.
Okay, yep, you're fine.
Alright, and I think that might actually hit.
That one does indeed hit.
Hooray!
Yeah,
it
you've
does.
only made 2 attacks.
The first one missing. This one also does less damage than you thought it would.
Oh. I also got holy damage in there. And I cure
no.
for 1 hit point. Hooray! And my normal debilitations apply against him.
You come up to this guy with his wings flat out and his whip burning you, and you come up as you slice off its arm, blood spewing out of his forearm. As it hits the ground, the grass starts to burn, and the Acroprother will fall to the floor. You just had to get the kill steal, yeah?
Had to.
Goes to the one at top. He's already done one of those. So let's double check if these are good spells for him. They are. So he is going to 5% here. And is going to double cast again.
Damn.
Well, you know the ability, you know you can do it twice a day. And as he does so, icicles shoot up from the ground. And first one is going to hit Kumunch. Kumunch, give me a fortitude save, please.
If my saves have been above 10, I'll take that. It's not that I can ask.
Okay, you will take 26 ice damage, and then give me another one, please.
Ah.
Okay, so 2 icicle shells will surround you and explodes, doing for a total of 63. So first is 26, second is 37, and you are frozen.
I mean, I just can't move, or...
You cannot move. You're frozen to the floor, essentially.
That's fine.
Makes his up to 2. And it goes to Osa.
Osa's probably just gonna charge. She's got something for that, though, doesn't she?
Yeah, +2 to attack, so just a single step.
As she charges, the Acroprother will attack GNC. Oof. Oh wow. So he whips around his flaming whip as it sparkles and almost shatters, and he has to reform it as he fumbled, and then I crit the entangle. It's so wasteful. Alright, go ahead. And you fumble! You fumble against his fumble!
That still hits, though.
Yeah, well...
Not quite how it works.
Not how the game works.
I know.
It's not a skill check. I think I'll just let like some of the embers will get in Osa's eyes, and she'll just miss. Alright, Kumunch. You'll be taking some ice damage. You take an extra 6 ice. Do you wish to try and break out of the ice?
Or is it a standard action?
You can spend a full round,
No,
make a strength or escape artist check, or you can attack the ice.
I'd rather not. I'd rather just have my feet planted and do some other stuff instead.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use my move action to use... No. Because that hits everyone else. Yeah, this will do. Stop him moving about so much.
Like he did to you.
I'll make this a 8th level spell, so +2 to its DC. When Joseph moved before, only one of them attack of opportunity, right?
They both did only one hit.
So I don't know if they have more than one attack of opportunity or not. And 15 plus 12 is 27. Let's go. Yeah, because I've got to cast defensively. Oh no, it's not 27. Jesus Christ,
It's 15
31.
plus double spell level.
So 31.
What's the spell you're trying to cast? 7?
8th level spell.
So, yeah, 31. Do you feel lucky?
Oh, I don't. Like, what the hell? Oh, screw it. I won't increase its air level, so it's only going to be 27 DC. 27 concentration check. Oh my god.
It didn't matter either way.
Good thing you didn't waste the extra MP.
So you'll lose the spin, or lose the MP. Anything else?
Is it worth limit breaking already?
I mean, you have
Minosa got
you have
this.
3 a day now, don't you?
He's got up now. 1 per
4 levels after first, so
1, 5, 9.
1, 5, 9, 13.
Yeah, 4.
So you get 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna limit break and try again.
You wouldn't be able to do that now. You would have to limit break before casting the spells, unless it's a double cast, which I don't think it is.
Basically, it just says I can cast 2 spells as 1 standard action.
So no, you would have had to limit break before casting the spell.
Yeah, don't waste it this turn.
That's all I can do. Can't do it.
So you're done?
Yeah.
Okay. Joseph?
Well, crud.
Crud indeed.
I'll just take the attack. I'm gonna also charge up to this doofus over here. Actually, I can't actually charge because I got that guy in the way.
Yeah, there's a guy in the way.
But I can still move. I can still move up there.
You can charge. You can charge that line.
Oh, you can charge there, yeah.
That's true, and that's all that matters. So, no, I'm not gonna charge. I'm just gonna move up.
As you move up, he shall attack opportunity. And you know what? It's a good thing you didn't charge. He will hit you, but he would have grabbed you if you charged. He will hit you for 14.
And I will attempt to hit him back. And that already has flanking in there for being next to Osa.
Ow.
And I don't hit.
That'll be a no. We'll go back to the Conqueror. He is going to attempt to tumble away. What are Joseph and Osa's CFDs?
Joseph is 32. Osa is 29. Okay.
She loses a lot of AC from raging and whatnot.
Oh, okay, that's right.
It's not AC though.
Oh, yeah.
It should go up. She gets-
Minus 7. Oh, jeez.
Okay, he shall tumble away to here. And shoot an icicle shard from the floor to encase and explode on Osa. And Osa needs to make a fortitude save. Okay, she will save and take 27 ice damage. And it'll go to Osa.
That's 17 with her special powers, right?
Only -5 from her thing.
Oh, okay, so that's 22 then. So I'll just -5 more. She doesn't care about taking damage, so she's gonna charge again.
And he shall whip it good. It will hit Osa for 14. And the whip shall also grapple her.
That's fine.
No. What's that?
He has 5 DR.
Oh yeah. Oh. I forgot about that last time too.
Too much.
I have to limit break. A double casting off. I know I can't move, but can I cast teleporting spells?
Let's have a look. See at the status. I would say yeah. Though, remind me, you take 4 ice damage.
I'd say 4 ice damage. I'm gonna limit break, so I have to. Actually. And I'll cast Shadow Blink to teleport there. And I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I'm back.
Jesus! When you just spoke, you like spiked your voice really high.
No, why I did that. I will make this far away, is he? He's not gonna hit me from here, is he? I know. Make this a 8th level spell. 5 squares away. His whip's in tangles, right? So he couldn't use his whip anymore.
Correct.
So I'm just gonna make this an 8th level spell. Where's it gone? Come on! Round. Probably 1 round's all we need anyway, but still. DC 28 will save.
He will save.
Come on! That's all I got.
Joseph.
I'm gonna try to acrobatics my way up there.
Don't really. True. He's got other forms of attacking.
That will succeed.
Finally. And another miss.
A miss indeed.
We're
Will
really,
I lose any bonus?
really low. No, he doesn't have the grappled condition. Only Osa does.
Because his whip be fire. And it goes to Said Apocrypha. He is going to cast defensively.
Need to hurry this up. Project's been cited for about an hour doing nothing.
I did give the option to revival. Okay, Krumach, give me a fortitude save, please. Another ice spike will explode on you for 28 ice damage. And we'll go to Osa.
Oh boy.
She could roll CMB to gain control of the grapple, escape artist to try and get out, or she can attack with her bite.
Escape artist is not gonna work.
I mean, she can also use CMD to just get out of the grapple too.
She might actually be able to do CMB. That's potential for getting out. It's against its CMD.
Yeah.
I have no idea what its CMD is. She probably has to roll at least a 10 to get out that way. And if she does that, she can't attack with her bite because it's a standard action, right?
Yeah.
What does her bite do?
Not a lot, really.
Not a lot. It's also getting reduced.
Yeah, so she's just gonna attempt to CMB to break the grapple.
Okay. That's a ranged attack.
That is not what I was going for.
You got an 18. What's the bonus of a CMB?
26, so like 40 something.
Yeah, 44.
That probably breaks it, right?
And yep, she will break out the grapple.
And
She's got move action.
she does. She can't really do anything with it though that I know of, so I'm just gonna let it go.
She could. Well, actually, no, you're already flanking anyway because your position. Okay. Krumach, who's bleeding profusely.
I'll try again.
Use at least one of your spells to heal yourself.
There's no point. Same again. 8th level spell. Oh my god.
The spell will shatter against his body.
And again.
That's better.
Still makes a save though, doesn't he?
He does not.
Right, he's dead.
And he is stunned. Let me just double check. Stunned.
Disabled. Is that one's way what?
Job saving that's held. Can't take actions. He is not disabled.
Oh, he's dropping off.
Host is already out. He's also flat-footed, and he can only take either a move or a standard, right?
No, that's disabled.
Oh.
He's better.
Stunned is no actions.
Oh.
Stunned is basically.
For 2 rounds. Well, what are you saying, Jack?
I said stunned is basically like stop. They just are helpless.
No, they're not. Stop is a lot worse.
Is it?
And they're not helpless. Helpless is a whole other thing.
Oh, alright.
Helpless would be you could coup de grace them. So that's pretty much done. We're about to take out EMP. And Joseph.
How easy is a hit now? Yeah, plus 40. Oh, that's same piece.
He takes a -2 and loses Dex. Which he has Dex as he's attacked more than once in a turn.
Loses a lot of AC.
Mm-hmm.
Attack him.
Hold on, I'm trying to remember if I have 2 attacks or 3. Just 1 second.
3 probably.
What is your BAB?
It's 11, so I only have...
So you have 3.
Oh, I do have 3. Okay, yay! 3 attacks. Well, 2 probably hit. The third one probably did not.
You can put your bewildering on him after the first 2.
Oh, that's right. So
Trust me, he can't. He's not surviving.
25 on that last one versus his lowered AC and lowered Dex. That might actually hit.
We will do it as just a strip penalty, so that will work. So the third one will hit with the disorientated.
Okay, that's all kinds of damage then.
So how do you want to kill him?
Half my friends are dead. We're just super frustrated. And then finally I get an opportunity thanks to Q Much, and I just go for it all in, no effort withheld, and I just death by 1,000 cuts in just the right places.
You slice and dice and make him a torso. As you cut into the Acrocrypha, it will fall to the floor, even though its limbs and body parts are detached from its body. It still has enough energy to puff up blood, speak with its last breath, this time in common.
Our defeat is but a minor second of grace for your kind. The material kingdom shall fall, and your head spiked onto the tables of my brethren.
Shut up, and I kick him in the jaw.
You kick him in the jaw as his fangs pierce his head. And with his last words and you kicking it viciously, the bodies start to crackle and peel away into ashes.
I immediately bring out my Wand of Raise, and I will raise Zeralu.
Munch starts feasting.
You can't, their bodies are disappearing. Yep. You can roll a Knowledge Planes. You can surmise that the high-ranking demons had a contingency in effect to send their bodies back to wherever they came from, be it Hell or the Abyss.
Damn it.
You can also roll a Knowledge Arcana if you wish. You can also surmise that the teleportation into this plane was more than likely intentional on the demon side, and not by the hand on the fell. The definitive difference being that the red lightning, that the lightning was red instead of purple or blue.
Right, let's get Jack alive so he can do something. He's probably bored of that his head.
Do you want Zeralu to raise him?
You give negative levels?
Yep.
Yes.
As well use the one then. Because Ariel's not exactly got any mana to spare.
Well, he does lose half of it when he gets revived.
Oh, I could have cast a higher level spell on him if that was the case. Would it have been more prudent to do Arise instead of Raise?
Let's have a look, see it arise. Arise gives full HP and no loss of MP. He loses 20 if you use Raise.
How many Arise have you got there?
1.
So use
I-
that on Mogmi.
Yeah, I could probably use it on Mogmi. That'd probably be better in terms of MP consumption for the whole party.
Wait,
Yeah, because Mogmi would lose 60 MP if you raise him.
it says the spell says it gives 1 permanent negative level.
Arise gives 1, Raise gives 2.
So it's not permanent, you can still get rid of it.
They are permanent, but permanent things can be cured away. Permanent just means it won't go away on its own.
Right.
Well, I was hoping to use this later, but I guess I will use it right now. If I can find the dang thing. Oh, I actually had 3 of those.
Oh well. Everybody heal for that amount.
Zeralu was just going to do some lay on hands.
He got it for free.
He has 9 of it a day.
I'll wait until he does that then.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll let him lay on hands then first.
So you'll do this between himself and Kumach first. So 53 for Ku. $55 for Zeralu. And he'll still have 4 uses. So he'll give 1 to himself and 1 to you. So you'll heal 20, he'll heal 8.
Can use 1 spell, it's only 3 MP.
And go for it.
So 29.
So
The first
The
number I
spell
rolled.
the spell that I casted on myself earlier, is that gone now?
What was the spell?
That.
You never used it, did you?
Nope.
So you'll still have it, because it's lasting for 15 hours, or until you use it.
Okay, because I am right in thinking now that I'm down a level, I can't cast 8th level spells, can I?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so I've still got that
So-
one active, but I just can't cast it again if I did have to.
But Zeralu does have Restore Raga, and I think you also have Scrolls of Restore Raga.
Yeah, I would love to have my level.
Alright, in that case, games to use it. I'll happily give him an ether.
Just check the type Restore Raga, it's not in this.
I'll happily have my level back so I can cast 8th level.
Okay, so we'll throw off to Restragas for himself and for Mogmi to get rid of the negative levels.
Ask him if he's got any ethers on him himself.
He has 1 ether.
So chug it.
Mogmi's just going to announce to the party that he'd like to just spend 10 minutes just casting a spell. Because he doesn't want a situation
sure.
like that again.
So he'll drink 3 MP and get rid of 10 from Restraga.
Everybody heal for 29 HP, by the way. As if that includes you, Elsa. Intro?
He said BRB.
Alright. Good to go through the door then?
You'll get that experience. But before you go any further, do you want Mogmi and Zeralu to throw off any buffs? Because Zeralu has a lot of buffs.
Yeah, but how long do they all last though?
It will depend on the buff.
There is any like minutes per round, sure, but
Yeah, he has several minutes. You can give +6 to any ability score, which will last for 10 minutes. You can give Protectra. Just get the duration for that. Protector is round, so you probably don't want that. That'll be in about.
Yeah, I've already got a Hastiker. That's kind of useful.
how long does that last though?
Rounds.
Exactly. It's like something you need to do at the start, but no, we can do here. Don't think we'd have any long-lasting buffs.
He has resistance, which is long lasting. And you were told about water and earth if you want him to throw off any of those.
I have one for that. I don't want to use his MP for that stuff.
The ones are only 10 though.
Yeah. I'll ask him to give me got one. Give me
I've no
plus-
idea, we just said.
Give me +6 con.
+6 con, yes. 10 minutes.
Yep, I'll take that then, because I have no enchantment to my con. That gives me, yeah, that gives me a lot of HP. And yeah, I'll ask him to give.
That would give you 45 HP, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Also, ask him to give fire and earth resistance, like we got advice to do. And I'll give him a turbo ether. In return. How many turbos ethers does Mogmi have?
4.
Let's go.
Say water and earth.
Yeah, that's what we got recommended, so.
So he has 4 MP before the turbo ether.
What else he could give? Does anyone else want? +6 to a bonus. Me? Have you got any bonus to your con? Any?
I've only got a 2 to my con.
Anything without a bonus in.
Charisma is my only thing.
I don't mind. No one cares about that.
Doubt I'm talking my way through this one.
You can give deflection AC for 2.
I can give 10 to everybody in a fight.
10 deflection.
That's AC. So, yeah, sure. Just tell him to give that around.
You can give that to 2 people with the rest of his MP, because that's the 2nd level.
All right. No, I thought it was like, I have to give Mogmi the 6 con. Give her an extra 30 HP.
Does Mogmi not already have a bonus to con?
22.
Plus
Does he have his own bonus to con?
Who?
Himself?
Zeralu.
Got an enchantment.
Zeralu has no enchantments in any of his scores.
Doing plus 6 con.
Okay.
And an extra 30 HP for him, which will help him.
What did I miss?
Nothing, we're just buffing up. Any enchantments Joseph would like? Have you got any things where you don't have any modifier in yet? Any
Say that one.
enhancements bonus? Got any ability
Say that
scores
all.
with any? Have you got any ability scores with no enhancement bonuses in yet?
Strength.
Doesn't matter to you though, so never mind. What's your dex on? A new guy can give plus 6 to any ability score.
I don't think I have any con score increasing either. Just a second.
He'll drink the Turbo Reefer and get 52 NP. His HP went from 85 to 115. He has more HP than Mogmi, even though his fire level is lower.
Yeah, I've got no enhancement in strength or constitution, and my intelligence has only got a +2, and my wisdom's only got a +2.
We don't care about them.
But Wisdom is also will saves.
Yeah, Wisdom's nice, but I'd rather just give you straight con and he doesn't have a lot of MP.
Yeah, so constitution would give me more health, but that's it.
And Fortitude save.
42 saves.
And
Which is a
fortitude
lot
save,
of death effects. Yeah.
which we have been doing a lot of saves, especially
Thank you.
fortitude saves.
Doing plus 6.
Fortitude and will are my weakest saves.
Just give him plus 6 to Joseph as well for con.
He's gonna give me +6 con.
Yeah. You can add it in as a buff, and then you just take it off later.
Extra 45 HP for you.
Yeah, if you set it as a buff, it'll look to calculate your HP for you. No, if only it's a green mage. Because as a green mage, you could pump that up to a +8. Or a +10, depending on what he chose.
Oh.
And for the first round, it could be a +20.
Yeah.
Yeah, green mage can be really, really, really enhancing.
And after we've done that, let's move because I don't feel like we've done anything in 3.5 hours.
There was a load of me describing things in roleplay in the beginning, and then this fight.
If I wanted to add that in as a buff, how would I set up the?
Just give yourself plus 6.
In the buff, just give it a name of Dwarf's Endurance. Tick buff 1, and then the first drop down, that should be Constitution. Second drop down will be Enhancement, and then the box just put 6, and then tick Use buff. You got it?
Almost.
Come on, man. Be use the computer.
That should be good enough to go.
Look at all that HP.
Just gonna cast that on myself, and then also extend it with a moment of time,
Why?
because then it lasts longer.
It's rounds, though.
How long is a round? In time?
6 seconds.
No, fuck that then.
Like, if you extend it, I think it'd last 2 to 3 minutes at most.
Yeah, no chance.
Did you add in the experience I put in the chat? Oh yeah, you did. Well, Kumash did. Make sure you actually add it in.
Osa could use dexterity. That would increase her AC and her
No, there's no
reflex
point.
saves.
Her AC is so low.
Her reflex is quite high on the Invincible Rage. It gives her reflex saves. I can also buff saves up later. And
Okay.
there's no point trying to increase her AC.
Okay.
Only time they're going to miss at this level is if they roll a 1. Established that not too long ago.
Yeah, charisma and intelligence are the only other two, and those aren't going to do anything for her.
Let's go through the door, if we can. If it's not locked, then we'll just wasted all this time because we can't get in.
It's locked, you gotta go home. After dealing with the demons, the party can approach the large iron door to inspect it further. The intricate door has seen better days, the iron rusted in several places, claw marks cross it alongside scorch marks. With a lack of handle or keyhole, the prominent locking mechanism seems to be a set of 6 coins within the right side of the door, and you can make either a perception check, a knowledge engineering check, or a disable device to investigate further.
Would I know if any of them would be harder to make than the others?
Perception would be the hardest.
Would be the hardest?
Yes.
Sorry, what were we rolling for?
Investigating the lock of the door.
Engineering or disable devices.
Okay, you can all aptly identify the locking mechanism.
Oh no.
Puzzles! Looking over the door, you can identify it as a six coin lock, and you'll need to turn the 2 rows of silver coins on the left so that they turn into a hexagon, and you must do it in 3 moves. You slide 1 coin at a time. You cannot pick them up, and they must slide. Basically, they all slide around the board.
I know exactly to do it.
The coins must move to always be touching 2 other coins, and they may touch diagonally. And when you move coins, you can make a previous coin only touch 1. So apparently, Fish has already got it.
Which one do you want to use? The top left box.
Yes.
On.
You've already failed.
Right.
The coin, when you move a coin, the coin you move has to touch at least 2 coins. You moving it down there makes it only touch 1 coin.
Oh, but now a previous one only touches 1.
Yes. So you could move this one down to here because it's touching 2 coins, because it's touching the 2 above it diagonally. But you can't move it here because it's only touching 1. I should also make this. That's 3 moves you lost. That's 4 moves you've lost. That's one. It's only touching one that you lost. Let's give you a bit extra room there.
There, that was 2 moves.
You won't be able to move that between those 2 coins.
Wait, what? What did you do? Can't you do that? I'm confused. Why is he not allowed to do that?
I don't even know what he's on there. Because if you're in there, the one in the middle is locked between the 2 on the left and the bottom right.
Right. Oh, yeah. Hey, you got
Right.
You see that, Aaron?
Well, now you moved it in the wrong position, so that's not attacking.
Yeah, you had it. But you had it the first time, but you did the wrong second time. There you go.
Yep, that's fine.
Cool.
This thing only has like 3 solutions to it, so.
I was basically all doing that same motion.
As you move the coins into place, the mechanisms within the door will start to creak as cogs start to turn, and the door will open. The door opens up into an incredibly dark interior with only the lights from the outside bleeding into it. Though, thanks to some of you have dark vision, but others may have a difficult time seeing in here.
So you guys have dark vision?
Zeralu only has low light.
God damn it.
We've got ion torches if he wants to. He has to stay in the back anyways. So if he wants to grab an iron torch from us for a little while, that's fine with me.
He'll chuck an iron torch on him.
Come on then. There you go.
And with the aid of a light source as well as your own visions, you can make out a disheveled room with rubble from old tapestries and columns to holes in the floor containing pools of water and skeletons either laid across the floor or leant against still standing objects. To the south of the room is a water fountain covered in rock debris from the adjoining walls that would seem to have been a past hallway, though now completely blocked off due to debris from both the wall and ceiling.
How high is the ceiling?
The ceiling is 20 foot high.
Me will fly up 20 foot.
Alright, we're following the left wall.
Can we check out this room first? There's a fountain up ahead. It might have that water we need in it.
Approaching the fountain, you see that there is a statue almost depicting Leviathan, though you can't see the other side of it as it's behind all the rubble. It still drips water into the fountain, though it's definitely a lot lower than what you would assume it to be.
Zeralu, is this the water we're looking for?
Sadly, it won't be that easy. That just seems to be a normal water feature. Though surprising, it's survived for over almost 200 years.
They take magic on it.
Is it safe to drink?
I would not suggest drinking it, though I could purify it for you.
Yeah, that's alright.
Now let me find
We
out.
don't really even need to drink any water.
Kumich, if you detect magic, the water is not magical.
I'll take a drink.
Well, in a stark contrast to the water you had back at Sisterton Hold, the water within this fountain is the worst water you've ever drunk. And as you drink it, you can hear the slithering hisses of snakes as your parties find some friends.
There we go, above 20 initiative, finally.
Have we
Ooh, no.
seen these before?
Nope, but it's going to be the last thing you ever see. As it moves up to this, you can make your knowledges. Let me double check what this is. This is knowledge nature.
Free actions can be taken whenever, can't they?
Depending on what they are and what you're doing.
That is the
Moat of
second
time to re-roll
knowledge
roll.
check that I've critically failed.
I was going to be using a moat of time to re-roll the knowledge roll.
I
Can you
think
be
it's
caught flat-footed?
No, I cannot.
No, not you. Log me for her ability.
No.
Then sure.
Okay. Even worse. But it's a 30. Better than what it was.
Joseph doesn't know what it is. He just knows it's a Medusa because, well, he doesn't know what a Medusa looks like.
That's one of those snaky people stone things, right?
You can identify this as a Earth Medusa. The Earth Medusa is a most terrifying female creature who had hair of living venomous snakes and a horrifying visage that turned those who beheld it to stone. And it does just that, as Joseph, Ulster, and Mogme need to make fortitude saves.
It
Oh yeah,
still
no, I'll
reached
skip
me.
you those. Yes, you're in the code.
He's 20 feet in the air.
I'm 20 feet in the air. Didn't know if I was higher than it.
Um,
It should be.
that's a good question.
Pythagoras.
It's going up at half speed as well.
Okay, no, it'll just be Joseph and Osa.
Sounds good.
Okay, you will both save. Have the rule selected.
No, bad snake lady.
It has wicked save is Fortitude. It has no weakness. It is immune to Death, Earth, and Petrify. It has MP, and it has all-around vision, where it gets +4 perception checks and cannot be flanked.
I wonder if Osa's ability supersedes that.
It wouldn't. The ability just says becomes flanked, but they can't be flanked.
Okay. They can still be bluffed.
That's what you think. Too much.
And then I can still see it, so tell me all the abilities I can learn from it, because I can't fail the check. So I use a swift action to scan it.
You can learn Petrify, which is a single target within 30 foot. Fortitude save or petrified. And Stone Breath, where you breathe in a 30-foot cone, and it's a Fortitude save or petrified.
I'm not going to move, but I'll still do that. Actually, that pillar's going to cause... Can't also see me from where she is.
Kinda.
As
You would have partial cover.
As long as you can see me, that's all that matters. And then...
Did Osa and Joseph get any healing after the end of the last fight?
29.
29?
Knowledge nature, was it? I can't remember, even though I just rolled it.
Okay,
Knowledge nature.
Yeah.
+4.
So everyone gets +4 against all the saves against Medusa. Then the one I can see, I will try and invoke it to use the single target the Petrify. So the will save 25.
It will fail its save.
That's good by me. There's one target with a bonus is better than 5 foot step. Back.
Mugby.
Is updating the monster compendium.
How could you?
Sorry. Right, what's going on? Where's that thing? Right, it's there. What's been done to it so far?
It's going to be using a single target stone effect next turn, that's it.
Is there any more than one, or is it just the one that we can see so far?
You can hear more than one.
Hmm. It's 36 feet away at the moment, isn't it? Is that right?
It's within 60 foot.
No, is it? Is it more than 30 foot?
Yes, it's 36.
Am I right in thinking that the range of my staffs went up? It's now 60 foot.
It would be based on the improved power weapons feats you have.
So yeah, it is. Okay, no, it's fine. If that's the case, I'm just gonna full attack it from where I am. I shot 5 foot back and then full attack. Well, 5 foot in the air. Yikes, that too.
The first 2 will hit. The last one will miss.
Sounds good.
Goes to another Medusa, who comes from the other hallway.
You're over there.
And is going to cast a spell. I cast a spell on you against Kumach. I think Fish said he used BRB,
Yeah.
so I shall make his fortitude save for him.
Good save.
He will save and take 32 earth damage. That's a good thing you put resistance up, so then he will only take 12. The Earth Medusa will then screech out in a tongue none of you can understand.
Depends what language it is.
You don't know it. I have a macro just tears me the list.
Darn.
Zeralu is going to full attack the one to the left. Sadly, they will both miss. They were 5 steps to there.
I see more of them join the party.
Yes, one of them hit you with a spell, you saved. It was earth damage, you took less.
I think the buff what would give us all +4 works on all the Medusas.
This Medusa is coming around to the side. As casting his spell at Joseph.
That we get the +4 to all of the spells and stuff against all these creatures.
All the Medusas. As long as it's the same Medusa type creature, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Joseph, give me a fortitude save, please.
Good thing you got that plus bonus to your con as well, because that's helping you out.
It should all be in there.
Okay, that will fail, and you'll be inflicted with the sap status. Don't have a sap symbol, I don't think, so we'll just use poison. It's very similar.
That means you can't be healed, right?
No, sap is a more powerful version of poison.
Alright, it's more damage.
But it could also stagger poison. You can have both sap and poison. Okay, what's the damage? Oh no, this can affect more than one creature. Okay, Osa and Kumach also need to make a fortitude save. Right, you are both fine for that. And then we'll go to Joseph.
Who is going to walk up and attempt to smack the one in front of him? Oh, actually, I forgot to take out the +4 from flanking for last time, so that's only 32.
How dare you lie to me? That will hit.
And since I moved more than 10 feet, do the skirmisher thing, I still deal sneak attack damage.
That you do.
And I gain a hit point. Oh, wait, no. Did I take any actual damage from that sap other than, like, being sapped?
Here, 11.
I must not have heard that.
You take 11 non-elemental damage.
I'll take 10 since I got that +1 from the cure materia.
Yeah. So what's happening with this effect?
Since I move more than 10 feet before attacking, I get my sneak attack damage. And it is... got its debilitations and it's bleeding.
So both bewildered and disorientated then.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yes, sir. Is it still looking pretty decent, or is it looking like it might be pretty hurt?
It's pretty hurt.
Alrighty. And that was the first real damage that was done to it, I believe.
Pogme, you're going to need to make me a fortitude save, please.
Do I get the +4?
Yeah. You will save. Osa. Which is enter.
She is going to do the same thing that Joseph did. But she's going to charge, I guess.
The details on the floor are mostly moss, so you're fine. Did you tick off all of her rage and frenzy buffs and whatnot?
I thought I did, but one of them appeared back on there again, so I had to switch that up again.
That will kill, as she cuts deep into the neck of the Medusa, and it will fall to the floor.
We share a little high five.
Well, she's able to give you it because she's not raging right now.
And then we both just stare down the other Medusa. We don't have any actions left, so we can't actually do an intimidate check, but just know we're coming for you.
Take it that's Thursa then.
Yep, that's it.
Alright. That one is dead. And as we come to the top of the turn order, we shall end the session here.
You want to see? No, let me do what I want to do. It'll be really quick.
Okay.
Same
Sure.
as mine. I was going to do something well fun.
It's a con.
Wait, what were you planning to do?
Have to be there for that, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's favourite spell. 8th level, so +3. Breath.
You know.
And 4 rounds. I'll take out the thing.
Saves Mal.
DC is in there for some reason. Don't know why it's not there.
Isn't it because all the DCs are different?
But it should at least give the number. Said 8, so 28 for the save. And that's not being GM'd here.
I know, I don't know why it's not.
Well, at least I know its resistances now. The Whisper GM didn't work.
They both save on the one useless one. Like that.
I guess. What? I don't even know why the Whisper GM didn't work. Okay, so what is the DC you said?
Was it 8th level spell and then 28? So they both succeed on a poison, which is pointless anyway.
Do they take damage from that?
Oh, but the berserk, the blind, the confused, the buff silence, the buff slowed. They can't do anything. They're basically useless for 4 rounds. The berserk and confused basically means they don't get to choose what they get to do. Blind and silence means they cannot cast spells.
And blind gives everything a 50% miss chance, even if they do attack something.
Exactly. They've got to go for the berserk probably will make them hit each other.
They're just going to attack the closest thing to them, basically.
Exactly.
Poorly at that.
Yeah, it's a very fun spell.
I don't know if Confuse has the same, like,
It's with Confuse and
1d4
Berserk.
to choose what they do.
What I was saying is, like, their turns are going to be very long now. It's got a right roll, so much to see. How does Berserk and Confuse work in the same way? Like,
You would think that it'd be one or the other.
I think they both have a thing where they can act normally.
Yeah.
No, wait. Huh? So Berserk can't use any charisma, dex, intelligence skills. Any abilities that require patience or concentration. They can't activate spells, they can't use magic items.
I basically roll for confusion first, and then Berserk takes in after that. So if confusion says they don't take an action, they just don't take an action. But if confusion was something else, Berserk would say no, just attack this person.
They've got to attack each other or do nothing at all.
They can't, they have to attack each other because Berserk forces them to, unless I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even
Unless confusion says no, don't do anything, Berserk makes them attack each other. So they're basically useless for 4 turns.
Beautifully done. Is that all we're going to call it today?
That's all I wanted. All I could do.
What did Mogmi want to do?
Oh, we're gonna try and kill one of them straight away.
You can still do it if you want.
Yeah. I'm gonna aim for this one. DC 27.
It's immune to death effects, Jack.
You'd even read the thing you researched.
Damn it, Jack.
Well, he takes a minuscule amount of damage. And with Mogmi casting Recall Death on a creature that's immune to death effects, we'll go to the next producer and we'll end session here.